2 simple questions to invoke your inner warrior. Stay tuned. Damon here with NLP Gym. If you haven't already, please click subscribe to this YouTube channel so that you can get these videos on a regular basis. The warrior mindset. I found it interesting that this is such a prevalent term in personal development and self-help. There's something very attractive about this idea of being a warrior, to the point that it is overused, I must admit, so I'm using it again. So this idea that we can approach life as if it's a battle. You know, we can approach our careers, we can approach our businesses as if we're fighting a battle and we're going to find our way to victory. This is the hero's journey. This is a story that has been told so many times, and we want to be that story. So it makes sense that we want to take this approach. And this is not just a man's fantasy. I have met plenty of women who approach anything that they do with a warrior mindset. And if you look throughout history, there have been well-documented cases and situations where women were warriors and leaders and led armies to victory. Joan of Arc comes to mind, the first person who comes to my mind. So this is not just a male sort of thing. Women have inner warriors as well. We all have this warrior archetype within ourselves. And we live in a time that is probably the safest time in history, at least in this country and Western culture. So what do you do when you have this warrior archetype inside of you and there's no real wars to fight? Well, first of all, that's a great thing. The fact that we have so much less bloodshed in the world today than we did, say, hundreds or thousands of years ago is a great thing. But we still have this energy. And this is nothing to be ashamed of. Even if you're a pacifist, this is something you can use. This is a great and strong part of yourself. All you have to do is just harness it. Some of us, and I am one of those people who did this, go to war with ourselves. And I was at war with my body, which yoga helped me with, and I was at war with myself in the sense that I didn't believe I was worthy enough. I didn't believe I was good enough. I felt like I had to constantly prove myself. I was in competition with myself. And all of these things can actually be good if you know how to harness them and direct them to your advantage. I wasn't doing that for a long time. For the physical part, yoga really helped me with. For the mental part, NLP was it. NLP showed me how to really understand myself and understand my way of thinking and to be able to code that, to be able to model other people's ways of doing things successfully. And so you find what works for you and you make it work. I found 2 simple questions to really harness that warrior spirit. Before that, I want to say too, if you are at war with yourself, if what I'm saying resonates with you and you have a feeling that that's where you're at in life, just know that there's a much better way, and that beating yourself up and shaming yourself or feeling like you're not enough, it's not going to help you. And you can direct all that energy outwardly. You can realize that you live in an awesome world where you can go out and there are infinite resources all around you, and you can invest that energy in that. And just know that you are enough, and know that you don't have to prove yourself in order to enjoy this world and to enjoy people and to get out there and do all the things that you want to do. It takes no proof whatsoever. You exist. If you're watching this, you must exist. So no need to prove yourself. This world belongs to you just as much as it belongs to anyone else. I know easier said than done. I've been there. I get it. But just come from a place of knowing that. And if you don't really know that, pretend to know it and work toward it. 2 simple questions. And that is, think about this. What do you want so bad that you're willing to fight for it? This gets us out of our comfort zone. What is worth fighting for? Now, when I say fight, some people, MMA fighters, soldiers, what have you, they actually do physically fight. Most of us don't do that, and that is good. That's a good thing. You don't have to physically get in a fight. When I say fight, it means how many times can you get knocked down and you'll keep getting back up because you want this so bad. That's what I mean by fighting. And sometimes it's physical, but for the majority of us, that is not physical. How willing are you to get out of your comfort zone? How willing are you to sacrifice comfort in order to get what you want? That's what fighting is in this sense. The other question is, what is something that is greater than yourself that you're willing to fight for? I've heard stories about soldiers who gave their all to save their platoon, for something that was greater than themselves, and we call these people heroes. And not all of us are going to be that. Not all of us are going to be heroes. But if you can find something that you're willing to fight for that is greater than yourself, the rest of this just sort of aligns. The rest of your energy, your passion, your actions will align to that. And when you have the sense that you're fighting for something that's bigger than yourself, nothing will stop you except for death itself. And that is a beautiful place to come from. And it can be self-serving as well. It doesn't have to be all for other people. Make it part of what you want. For me, what I'm willing to fight for is to achieve my potential. What I'm willing to fight for that's greater than myself is to help others achieve their potential. Because in helping others achieve their potential, that is me achieving my potential at the same time. So this is both self-serving and serves other people. And that is something I'm willing to get knocked down over and over and over and get right back up and keep going. Answer these questions for yourself, and this will direct your focus. And this will invoke that warrior spirit to really go after what you want. If you find yourself not being able to answer these questions, know that that's where you're starting. Sit down and start thinking about this. Accept that that's where you are right now, and know that these answers do exist. You just haven't found them yet. So what if you're really struggling with this and you're not sure how to answer this or how to go about it? Or maybe some of you have, and this was the case when I was at war with myself, was I had some cobwebs that needed to be cleared out. I had some problems, some nagging stuff that I hadn't dealt with. And so I couldn't even get to these questions. So what do you do if you're in that place? The best thing probably is to get a coach. Get a really good coach who you trust, who you feel comfortable with, and a coach who's not there to try to make you feel comfortable, but a coach that's actually wanting to push you out of your comfort zone. That's the kind of coach you're looking for. If you can't, if either you don't know anyone who you trust to be your coach or you can't afford it, what have you, Core Transformation, it's a workshop that Mark Andreas will be teaching for NLP Gym here in Santa Cruz, September 16th, 17th, and 18th. That is a great place to start. That's a workshop about finding out what your problems are, your stuck points, everything that's holding you back, and using that obstacle as the way, using that as the doorway to your overall health, mental health, physical health, and your overall well-being and happiness. Once you clear that stuff out, finding your purpose as far as what are you willing to fight for, what's greater than yourself that you're willing to fight for, that stuff will come a lot easier. So check out nlp-gym.com. The workshop is on that site. And go ahead and look around. We also have a free sensory acuity course that you can take if you have no NLP training or if you've had NLP training. One of the most overlooked skills in NLP is sensory acuity. Develop your sensory acuity and you can make almost anything work in NLP. Also, follow us on Facebook, and if you haven't already, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. You will get these videos on a regular basis, and if you like this video, please click like right down here and leave me a comment or a question. I'd be happy to answer that for you. Take care.